You see me riding and driving.
Welcome to the TidBit podcast. My name is David. I'm joined by my good friend
Aaron,
and someone else is here as well.
Hey, it's Gary.
And today we have each brought a topic to the table. And I believe Gary wants to go with his first.
Yeah, same as last week. We're going to be doing one topic each. And just like last week, going to be Friday is going to be the schedule at 8 p.m. You know, GMT, or just an hour after that.
Our time.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know where you are in the world, but basically just imagine, Irish time, 8 p.m. and then go from there.
Imagine you're in some fields. A leprechaun just walked by. The podcast has uploaded.
Gold has come.
Alright, Grant, sorted.
On to the first topic.
Wait for you to start something there.
We started again, are you, or what?
So the topic that I want to talk about is when we're talking about like awards and Academy Awards. I was listening to another segment where somebody handed in a question, and their question was regarding games as art and stuff like that. That question was been around for decades by now. Like with any art form, is it a real art form? Should it be considered as good as the rest of them? Can you even consider an art? And they said, in the same vein as the Academy Awards, is there anything which is similar to that for gaming? And straight away, there is kind of, but there's not anything which you can kind of like say definitively that's like the Academy Awards.
What is kind of like it?
The one's kind of like it is a DICE Awards, which happens because it's the Academy of Arts and Sciences. And
it sounds pretty similar to...
It's Academy of Arts and Sciences, and it is done, it's kind of like that, but it's still not on the scale, or it's still not like as a spectacle or something like that, which it doesn't have to be. But it's not as definitive. Like, you do have the Game Awards, which are on every year, but that's more of a thing to... That's sort of media outlets mostly. Like media outlets and people who talk about them as journalists are the people who talk about that. Whereas the people who are on like the DICE Awards, they're contemporaries. Like there are people who develop games as well. There are people who are teachers and tutors who teach people how to make games, and they're the board of directors who are like voting on it. Very similar to the Academy Awards. Whereas the Game Awards are more like, not as like that.
But is that because films are so like big, so mainstream? Is it like to scale, do you think?
I think it's only because of how long they've been out. Because films like in the 20th century when they came out, I imagine people were just like, oh, these are like funny little things. Yeah. Because there used to be little like slideshows that you would like put a penny into, and you could like slide the thing, and eventually it would just go through it. It would just be like really fast like images together, and it would eventually come into like a fluid movement, which would be film, which is putting frames together. And so I think like that what happened was, because it's been there for over 100 years now, it has a kind of pedigree. I think eventually what's going to happen, this century, is that eventually games are going to become the next big art form.
When they get their 100 years.
Of the 21st century, yeah. The 21st century is going to be ruled by games. I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it. This is going to be the big thing. It's already turned into $108 billion industry at this point.
Christ.
Do you know any TV show award ceremonies?
TV? Just like the Emmys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're the one to the soaps.
I don't know.
I think the Emmys is TV show, is it?
Yeah, the Emmys
like,
Emmys is TV, yeah.
Is it, yeah?
Yeah,
okay,
Breaking Bad got one.
Yeah. That's all you know.
Yeah, they got one.
Yeah.
Of course, Emmys is the TV awards.
That wouldn't be as widely known as the Oscars or anything.
No, it won't
because films is such a big art.
But then it's also saying like the Golden Globes. I don't know what the actual difference between all these are.
They're all like premeditated ones, like building up to the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I'd imagine there are differences between them, like in terms of the people who are voting, because like there are probably different voters for each of those categories that I don't know about. Like in the same way that the DICE Awards are the contemporaries, the other developers voting on it, and then like the Game Awards are basically just media outlets who we have 51 media outlets, and we've all gotten them to chime in on what they think. Like pick 5 you like.
Yeah.
Of this category, and that's kind of what it is. Yeah, so I think I don't know how the Golden Globes or the Emmys or those do, but I know the Academy Awards definitely has like a board of directors and people who are assigned as like, well, you know, you're a filmmaker, we'll have you like chime in on it. Like these are your contemporaries that you are talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose everything in entertainment has a award ceremony in some way, don't they?
They do, yeah.
Because everyone who's doing it is, they're all going to want to applaud themselves, aren't they? They're not going to be in an industry going, "Oh, someone sets this up for us." It's like, Jesus, I want to give myself an award, please.
Someone
thank
tell
you.
me I'm great.
Yeah.
You even have the pornography awards. There's for everything.
Yeah, AVN. No, but that's the convention.
Oh, David, please.
Can't remember.
And then the dog shows, they have awards.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
now that you mention it, yeah.
No, there's a really popular dog. I think it's something to do with like pedigree or something like that. But there's a really like popular dog awards that I can't remember off the top of my head. It's really annoying me. God, they're so well known. They are. There's literally like millions put into this event every year.
But is everyone as big as they should be for their standing?
In which,
Like the way the film ones are so big,
yeah,
because films are the biggest recognised art form in the world,
Yes,
pretty much. Yeah. So, are the game ones and the dog show ones, are they to scale with their bigness? Do you think?
I think
know what I mean?
that they're getting bigger. I mean, literally, you're just seeing like Fortnite is taking over the fucking world.
Yeah.
That happens every so often. That happened with Call of Duty. That happened with PUBG. Now it's happening with Fortnite, which is piggybacked off of PUBG.
Yeah.
Like this thing happens every so often where things break through.
Happened with dabbing as well.
In this,
Things just break through.
yeah, it's
Trends.
Fidget spinners.
Exactly.
it's in the same way of like film where there would have been things that broke through, but they never would have been like something really big. Like when you had silent films and stuff, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I saw this really cool picture," and they would mention stuff like that. I'd imagine it was like this
Yeah.
when it was a new thing, and just like that, games have now gotten to the point where they're so recognizable that you don't need to pay a lot of money, and only the nerds are playing games. Like literally, fucking everybody does.
Everyone does.
You know, like I saw one of the new NBA drafts. The dude had a customized suit. Where the inside of his suit jacket, when he lifted it out, it just says Fortnite on both sides. Like an NBA draft pick for this year.
Was he sponsored by Fortnite or?
No, he did it because he loved the
Reed
game.
fucking loves Fortnite.
Like you'll see athletes and Roseanne and stuff like that. Like these.
Wait, what, Roseanne?
Roseanne tweeted about like I got
Who's
20
Roseanne?
Fortnite. Right, she said I got 20 Fortnite victory wins or something. It's something like that, which she didn't fully understand. what she
Roseanne is a
said.
fucking liar. Who is Roseanne?
Roseanne is like a really big series, one of the biggest series that was in America by this person called Roseanne Barr.
Roseanne Barr, and then recently they were bringing it back, and they're going to do it again, and they were.
And while
then
they're bringing
she-
this back, this is probably advertising for it. That they're just like, hey, Roseanne's still relevant. She plays Fortnite.
Except she's not.
Yeah, I know they're
Yeah.
not coming back because she said
No, it's come back without her.
she said something racist.
She said some racist stuff, and she had to. Her apology on Twitter was, "I am not racist, but I am a fool," or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I can only
But
do
the
24
show is
times.
So her comeback, like, "Oh, we're bringing back your show. Here you go.
Yeah.
Here it all is." You're not on the show anymore. No, the show is still coming back, but without you. It's still called Roseanne. I'm
Without
pretty sure.
Roseanne.
That
Yeah.
was a really big thing in like media entertainment at the time, just because people were just like, "Wow, Roseanne was."
It was only a few weeks ago, like.
And
Really,
the
yeah.
producers just straight up just got rid of her just because, you know, like bad press, and that we shouldn't have a show for somebody who was like this. And it's like, that's actually quite commendable that the show is about her.
So she won't win any Emmys then.
She probably will not win any enemies.
Enemies.
She's got a few
She has
enemies
some
now,
now.
yeah.
Those two. But actually, to go on to the second part of my topic, apart from just talking about stuff like that, is about the Academy Awards, which eventually, you know, games will get there. They'll get there. They'll have their time, which they're getting now.
Which Gary is waiting for every night patiently.
Yeah, but it's still one of the, you know, the most immersive art form in the entire world. If they were to continue, there was the Academy Awards, there would probably be something similar in the anti-way of the golden raspberries, of, you know, having ones for really bad things
yes.
happening. You know, all the
please.
really bad things we want to mention, like Catwoman. Just to
Where
single one
Halle
out.
Berry turns up.
Yeah.
And comes up. Oh.
I think we could have. Also, I think that people are pretty understandable in the gaming world. I think they would be able to take humor more than the film side would.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Unless you're Phil Fish. But probably, yeah.
Who?
Who is Phil Fish?
Phil Fish. Fez.
Fez. Oh, Fez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
What is
Yeah.
Fez?
Do you remember Fez like there's a 2.5D kind of
Fez
puzzle
was
game?
this puzzle game where you move around the environment to
Yeah, but it was years in development, massive game, and then when it came out, it was a huge fucking success.
It was
But
a big indie game. It was on Xbox Live Arcade.
In fact, there was a film
They
made about
started
it.
indies. It was at the same time as Super Meat Boy came out.
Yeah,
Or just
I've
Meat
heard of
Boy.
that
There was
one.
a film came out about it. Indie Game the movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, I
Indie
watched
Game the
it.
movie is about Fez.
Yeah, and
And Meat Boy and a few others as well.
Phil Fish isn't the nicest guy going,
okay.
and then he was criticised, and then while developing Fez 2 had like a breakdown, was like, nope, fuck y'all, I'm out of here, cancel production, everything, and just disappeared.
Sounds like a fishy character.
He's a bit of an arsehole, you know. Well, I think so anyway. Am I wrong here?
I don't know. I don't
No?
know too much about Fez or
Okay.
Phil Fish.
Well then, never mind. Irrelevant point, but yeah, Phil Fish. He'd be the type why you'd just put him forward as like the worst fucking creative person on any team, and he'd cry.
Just attitude-wise.
Yeah, attitude-wise, I suppose. Yeah,
But I don't think there's ever like an award in the Golden Raspberry.
There
for
will be
worst
now.
Attitude.
there will it will be now just for him.
Because like if we're talking about stuff like worst writing, worst voice acting, stuff like that.
Yeah.
If we're gonna go to the Golden Raspberries, like what games did you like grow up playing that you like playing them, but you realize that
they're
they
bad
are
games.
terrible. Like people have already talked about like the Academy Awards, and in terms of like really good games, or what are the fantastic games you'd recommend to people? What are the really bad games that you love playing?
Ooh.
I'm trying to think.
What bad games do you just love playing? Like when you're growing up, like aside from other stuff, like I have a few that I wrote down on a little list here. That like the one I always go back to is Bullet Witch. It's a game that I
Oh wow,
love.
really?
Do you remember Bullet Witch?
Yeah, I do.
You played it?
No, I haven't played it, but I've seen it.
Yeah, Bullet Witch it's absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
No, it's so
He
bad.
agrees.
Like everything takes way too long. If ever you're doing like a really big spell, and then you would have to wait for the animations, and you would see, oh, I'm gonna do lightning, and then it would come out of your character. The camera would point at the sky, and nothing would happen for about like 5 to 10 seconds. And imagine how long that is. That's literally just waiting for it that long. No, don't worry.
Didn't cut out. That was completely intentional.
I want to do like little pauses every so often, so somebody's just like looking at their phone, like just that fucking pause, and so I want to trick them. But that was one of those games that everything just kind of did not work for it. Some of the characters are a little off. The backstory didn't really make it. I still don't actually fully understand what happened in that story. Like a lot of it still doesn't make sense. And I played through that game about 20 times.
That's an issue.
But I've finished that game like dozens of times actually throughout my life.
What do you mean by the characters being off?
They were off in that I didn't understand their
shady as fuck.
relationships, and then some parts of them were like really anime, but at the same time they're really Western.
Okay.
Everything was confused.
I was confused.
The game was confused.
Parts of
all
the
went
gameplay
home.
was cool. Like you could put up walls, and so when people were
Fortnite.
shooting me, I would like
Oh, go.
use magic. But this game came out in like 2006.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, whoa, and a wall
Are they
would come
suing
up.
for-
New lawsuit. Here we go.
No, Tencent is not going to sue themselves again.
Did you actually hear PUBG aren't suing Fortnite anymore?
Yeah, they pulled
Are
out.
they not?
No.
Oh, cool.
Well, they could have settled it out of court. We're not sure. Yeah.
They could, yeah, it didn't sell it. I'd imagine PUBG are probably open to doing something like that.
Yeah.
Just because
There's some money.
they're doing well, but not as well as Fortnite. Even
no.
though Fortnite is free to play, they're still not making as much money as that
Yeah,
game is.
Because even as you were saying here, you do it free to play as well. Even you were considering buying something for it.
Yeah.
Because like you play it that frequently, you're
Yeah,
going to do
might as
something. Yeah.
So back to what you were saying.
Yeah, sorry, go on. Yeah.
Yeah,
Topics.
but which is absolutely terrible, goddamn game. But I love it so much. Like if I go home, I'll probably still play it. Like right now, I really want to play it, even though I know it's bad. I will still play it. Like parts of it don't even make sense. Like it's like, oh, how do I get through like this really important mission? And you would think it'd be really obvious, but it's like, no, you literally have to run through this part, which is way too long. It takes you about 5 minutes to get there, and you have to run through it and go through it like a tiny little alley, which is not obvious and looks like the rest of the city that you're going through. And there's no indications. There's no map like indications or anything. There's no map. It's just you running around the city, and you have to find out where you have to go, but like kind of guessing. You literally have to guess where you're going next. There's no indication of where
Yeah.
you're actually supposed to. You'll eventually
It's like
just go-
real life.
Yeah.
You're guessing in real life.
Yeah, it's like real life. It's very immersive.
It's not good. It's a realistic
I
game.
wouldn't play that every day, to be honest.
I'm trying to think of a game that I like that I know. Shit, I can't really think of any straight off the top of my
Another
head.
one that you want.
We got a few. Do you remember Wet?
Wet. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was by Don't Nod, wasn't it?
Oh, was it Don't Nod? I'm not sure.
I can't remember, but
Wet was a bad game.
all I remember is that every trailer had her sliding all over the fucking place.
That's because that's all you did was just slide slow motion, land on a wall run, jump, slow motion.
That sounds like a fun game.
It would be if it ran well. if it was
If it slid well.
Yeah, well, hey, it was a complete piece of shit. It would have been great. I don't know why I love that sort of shit. Like I used to hate watching reviews just because I'd find a game and even if it was bad, I would find enjoyment in it. Dead Island 1.
That was on my list.
Was it?
If you can see it here, it's literally on my list and I crossed it out because it's like...
Sorry, is Aliens vs Predator on your list and did you take it off?
No, I didn't take it off.
Okay.
Dead Island, Alien vs Predator.
It's still there.
The reason why
I played the shit out of that.
I played that a lot.
Yeah.
I played that online, even though nobody
Yes,
else fucking
absolutely.
played it. Nobody played it online.
I love that, to be honest.
Very few people actually play that game online, and so you play against the same people every time you're on it.
Craig,
I'm
how many
sorry,
friends you have?
If anything, we probably played with each other.
We
because
probably
so
have, yeah.
few people were on that online.
So many people were on it. It was great.
Because I would
Sounds
go
like
on
the
it.
Switch, is it?
I would
Fuck
go-
off.
So I would be online and I would see like the game had been out for like a month or something, and there would be like 6 servers of like 5 to 10 people each, and that's it, like in the world, and it's like, oh god. And I just like the PS3 like pretty early into it.
Is anyone playing it now, I wonder? Gary really wants to go home and play it.
Oh, I'd love to. Oh, I really like that. Everybody wanted to be Predator, of course. And then there's also
Really?
Marines, and
Oh, did they?
people like being Alien because you would crawl on the walls. You could be basically you had Alien, Predator, and Marines.
Okay.
So you'd have the 3 of them against each other.
So 3 individual campaigns and
Yeah.
the multiplayer. It was everyone.
There are different
Great.
things like in the campaign, but the main like the multiplayer was actually I enjoyed the multiplayer. It was bad. The game was buggy. A lot of the stuff wasn't really balanced correctly, but I liked playing it.
A Marine against a Predator doesn't seem fair in the Marine.
No, it doesn't. That
It's
but you see
not.
there are different numbers because you would have like 3 Marines, and then you might have 2 aliens.
And one Predator.
And 1 Predator.
Okay.
So it balances out when you're playing games. They can only have a certain amount of Predators, which are always the least amount. Aliens are always like less than the Marines, and then Marines are always the highest number because the Marines have no special abilities; they're just guns. Aliens, they can like crawl around and move really quickly, and they can hide in vents, and they just have to swipe you or hit you. They can do stealth kills as well. They come up behind you, and their tail will go through you, and now you're dead straight away.
That was
The
scaring the
Marines
shit out of you online. We just
Yeah.
walking across
Oh,
and
yeah.
the screen just jolts. You're like, wait, what?
You die so quickly, and also you're able to look through walls as an alien and as a predator.
That's cool, yeah.
And then the predator just is literally like the best versions of like the imagine a souped up marine with the alien's
Yeah.
abilities. Except he wasn't able to climb on walls; he could just jump pretty high.
So when you're in the multiplayer, do you get to choose who you play as?
I don't
is
think
it?
you have to choose. You just
Nah.
get.
If nobody else had have chosen it, you could do it, but it's mostly random.
Yeah.
Because people just wanted to be like, well, not all of us are here, so might as well switch up.
Yeah.
Mostly random.
It's like the Friday the 13th game.
Yeah.
Rip in peace, by the way.
Yeah, Friday the 13th gone.
Fuck's sake.
Speaking of bad games.
That's a bad game that I love to play so much. Oh my god.
It's like Alien vs Predator. That it was cool, but there's a lot of bugs with it. Alien vs Predator just wasn't optimized out. It felt like they kind of abandoned it when the game came out. It didn't feel like it ever changed. Nothing ever like went out. It was also because playing online on like consoles wasn't like a thing.
It wasn't.
Didn't exist.
It's like the PS3 starting.
Yeah.
Like
Very strange.
apart from like the Xbox Live, and then you also had Xbox 360 a bit, but it was like PS3 early. Like it was not well done. The best game you had at that point is GTA 4,
They tried their best, sure.
and that was just like an open world. You just got to kill each other
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, GTA 4 Online wasn't the best at all.
Never really cared much for the GTA Online. Any of them. I had fun with Red Dead.
Well,
GTA 5 Online is good.
I know it is, but I didn't care enough,
that
to be
thing
honest.
sells like, that thing sells like fucking hotcakes.
Yeah, it does.
Still does.
Still does.
Red Dead Redemption. Oh, I want to see what the online is going to be. They've said like they've now said that what was it? When you buy Red Dead Redemption 2, I was actually talking to Colin, and he said that a lot of the bundles and stuff, like if you're buying like the certain editions
Yeah.
of the Red Dead Redemption 2, you get GTA dollars. And I think what they're going to do is that they're going to put. I think they're
Oh, they're gonna make it all one.
Cross
pretty
them
much
over.
interchangeable, so that if you go into Red Dead Redemption 2 Or if you go into GTA 5, you can like transfer the money over and there's like an exchange
Can
system.
you transfer vehicles? Because that would be really fun.
That would destroy the game.
Lamborghini in Red Dead Redemption.
No!
Yes.
It turned into a white buffalo. Something like that.
Yeah, for Lamborghini.
Confident white buffalo. That was the last thing you unlocked in that game, wasn't it? There were 10 levels in that.
I was very confused.
If you,
Yeah, I am.
it was like, do you
I'm
like,
very confused,
do you know
actually.
in Call of Duty where you have prestige?
Yeah.
And when you like go to like the top of the level, you can then go to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
You had that in Red Dead Redemption, where when you get to like the very end, you can go back to the beginning, but like you don't have the weapons and stuff. But you get a
Spoiler.
legendary mount at the end of each of them. So
Oh,
eventually,
okay.
like I had like buffaloes and stuff, and a zebra. Right, and some of them were really cool. And the very last thing you could unlock was a white buffalo.
Did you get it?
No.
Oh.
I was like
One day.
I was like 1 or 2 prestige away from that, but I didn't, because at that time it was the only game I really got into online, apart from Alien vs Predator. I didn't play that much online. Another game I also want to mention, I'm going to cross this out, I'm not going to say it, but also Simpsons Wrestling. Did you play that on PS1?
No.
Never played it.
I've watched people play it when I was a kid, but no.
I played a lot. My entire family played that. We used to play against each other. And there's an arcade mode where we fought against, like, I don't know, everybody. Ned Flanders, but you were in, like, a boxing ring. But everything, game balancing issues, like, your character would be shit
Yeah.
compared to, like, the bosses who would be, like, the best characters. And it was so difficult. I finished it, of course. I was, like, 3 years
Of course you did.
I was, like, 5 years old and I had none of my time. So I eventually got through that shit, like Tekken 3.
I know we're talking about bad games at the moment, yeah? But Simpsons Hit and Run was
Whoa.
amazing.
Still have it.
Yeah, me too. One of the best games ever made, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it was alright.
Get out.
No.
It wasn't the best game ever.
It's such a great game.
It was fun.
As a kid, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Being a fun game.
As an adult, still amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
Well,
Like any game has issues, but that was just the difference between being good and being fun.
It was both.
It was a fun game.
It was both.
It was a fun game.
It is still both.
I like dressing up at Halloween.
What?
You got seasons in that game.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
Oh, I
seasons.
thought you were saying Halloween like dressing up. They're just giving us a fact about yourself.
And the last one I'm going to mention is South Park the game on Nintendo 64.
Oh, was this the first person?
Yeah, did you play
Yeah.
that shit?
Yeah.
You got your base like weapon. This is a first person shooter South Park.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, like you started off the game with like you could have snow, and then you could also have the secondary attack, which is you pee on the snow and throw it. It's slightly more powerful.
This sounds familiar. I feel like
game-
I've seen some of this.
It was pretty barren. A lot of the levels looked very similar. Every so often it would get kind of interesting where like some of the enemies are all just fucking turkeys. Or you would have the people...
Any explanation or?
I don't know what to say like about the people whose heads were everywhere. Like their heads were like different sizes, their bodies were different sizes. I think they were meant to be disabled people. And it was I felt like now I think about it and it's just like, no, the game was really bad.
Yeah.
The game was
Yeah.
terrible. It was
And offensive,
It was
apparently.
in South Park, but like with none of the actual humor.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun, really. When I played it, I really enjoyed it. Now, if I played it, I probably would not like it.
Yeah.
But at the time, even the multiplayer didn't really work that well when I was playing with my brothers. That game was destroyed. That game wasn't really that good. But you know, it was offensive and it was South Park, and so I played it.
That sounds like South
I
Park.
pissed on snow and I threw it at my brother.
In the game?
In
or?
the game.
Okay, yeah.
In the game, yeah. Put rocks in real life.
Hold on, I'm trying to think of other ones. Do you have any that you grew up playing that you know now?
They're bad.
Oh, shit.
I used to love a Rugrats game on PS1.
Oh, I remember that
I
shit.
can't remember the name.
That's not bad.
I know, it's not bad, but looking back at it, I thought it was a lot better than
I
it
thought
was.
with the idea of like no, it was like a.
Dino Crisis.
It's a fun game.
Sorry.
That's a good game. That's even like if they bungled that. They also bungled a bit of the Rugrats. There's some stuff with that doesn't make sense. There's a lot
Yeah.
of glitches and that shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of the levels are very similar.
But it was a very fun game.
But you had like variety and stuff like mini golf and
Yeah.
when I was younger, yeah, I loved that shit. I really liked that thing on PS1.
I'm trying to think about other games. I can't really think of
And
any.
there's like scary levels, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Dino Crisis. I played through the introduction of that game until the first Raptor and T-Rex. I played through that about 20 times.
Okay.
Because every time we got to that, imagine I was like 5, 6 years old.
Yeah.
In that.
Terrified.
So I would play that and I'd be like, I knew all the puzzles from the beginning. Like all the puzzles knew off by heart in like the first like 2 hours. And then once it got to like the dinos, I was like, nope.
Once it got to the crisis of the dinos, you
Once
were
I
out.
actually got to like where you have to attack people, like, no, I'm okay, I don't want to play this anymore. Because the concept of Dino Crisis, can you imagine if they brought that back?
Oh, yeah.
Dino Crisis.
What was the concept?
The concept of Dino Crisis was imagine Resident Evil.
Okay.
Right? Imagine how you play Resident Evil, but imagine Jurassic Park.
Okay.
The concept of just again, like you don't have games like that
Yeah.
where it's just you fighting dinosaurs. Just the concept alone is so fun.
What about Dino Smash?
What's Dino Smash?
The sequel to Dino Rumble.
The fuck is Dino Rumble?
Just making shit up.
David?
They're not games. It's okay.
David?
It's okay.
Are you single-handedly ruining this?
I am.
Don't smile. I don't know how to react to you now. Oh! I want Dino Crisis.
The immersion's
Yeah.
gone. What was it? I think. Fuck. Scooby-Doo, Night of 100 Frights.
Yeah. Oh, I used to love
Yeah,
that.
there you
Computer
go.
game?
No, PS2.
I played a computer game. That was one of those like educational computer games.
Okay, that wasn't it.
Oh, this absolutely was not what the
I don't
education.
know this one.
This was the shit.
Yeah, I don't think I passed the first level. I think it was.
I think I did it later on,
Yeah.
but looking back on it, it was
It was something.
the springs, the fucking
Yeah.
cavemen running at you, like breaking out the ice. It was good. It was nice. That's what it was.
It was enjoyable.
Avatar, PS3.
Game incredibly repetitive.
Okay.
Incredibly repetitive.
Well, what did you have to keep
You'll
doing?
probably have the same. It is a mess. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I don't have too much to say about that
Beautiful.
because I don't remember too much about it. I just remember it being a mess, and I remember I've never felt like I actually progressed in that game. I never felt like I actually got better. It just felt like, oh, and now you can get in this vehicle that you couldn't get in before. It's like, yeah, well, it was always there, and you don't let me.
I have a game that's the opposite. I
Yeah.
found it very boring.
Yeah.
But I know it's a good game.
What was it?
Okami, I think it's called that.
It's fucking awesome.
See, I knew you were going to say this.
How dare you?
I knew you were going to say this. I just.
That watercolor style is
Yeah, it's
fantastic.
a good looking game. But I was just like. A bit bored about it. It's just walking around, drawing on trees or something. I can't remember exactly.
Imagine doing that on the Switch now.
Shut the.
I'd rather not.
No, you can. Right, imagine, right? Now.
Do we have to?
When you
No.
want to write,
No.
it's touchscreen. The Switch is touchscreen.
What? Since when?
The game would be amazing then.
Wait, are you being serious?
No, no, I'm not.
Oh, don't give me hope like that. I'm
No,
going
I
to turn you.
I never found the game that appealing. Like,
But imagine doing touchscreen now.
imagine that. Aaron, are you
Imagine
imagining
now
it?
when
I'm
you're
imagining it
drawing
so
it.
hard right now.
Imagine
You're
it.
like, you're like gliding across the screen with
Wait,
your
with your hands. You're touching it.
Yeah.
On a screen.
Oh.
And the screen is responding to it.
With your Switch.
Yeah.
And no friends.
You want to kill the queen back?
Go back to Killer Queen. Oh my
You're gonna
god.
regret it.
What, Killer Queen?
You're gonna regret it because I was considering bringing my Switch today because
You should have.
I wanted you to play a game that is like I played it yesterday and I got to a point. Like I was there with like Natalia and we were there inside as I was playing the game and just the introduction of this game is just. Oh, I don't want to hype it up.
Is it Mario Tennis?
I want to get you to play. No, another game I want you to get to play. It's a music rhythm game. It's amazing. The
Guitar
introduction
Hero?
to it. It is. I cannot imagine this working
Guitar
in
Hero?
any other art form apart from as a game.
Is it Guitar Hero?
No,
Oh.
that's not every rhythm game except Rock Band.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember DJ Hero?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Remember
That's
DJ
a
Hero?
game. That's one of those games like with Avatar. I'm going to say the biggest flop.
There was DJ Hero 2.
It's a flop. What?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did the second one.
I still
Yeah.
have the fucking deck from DJ Hero.
Oh my god.
I have
You
that
should have
deck.
brought that.
I had the dick. I still have it at home. It's under my brother's bed that we used to play. I remember like playing that and being like, "My God, I'm really cool. I'm switching tracks now." I thought I was the coolest dude.
You're the coolest guy
You
going.
I
still
was
are.
a DJ.
He still
in my
is,
room.
actually. Of course. Now you just have the equipment for it as well. There you go. Good
That
one.
was disgusting.
No,
Vile.
you love that.
I did.
Oh, you're gonna pick my belly button. Then.
Oh no. Gary's shirtless, by the way.
Yeah,
letting
it's
everyone know.
really warm. How warm is it in Ireland?
It is too warm.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining, but I am a little bit.
I think we've got.
I'm definitely complaining. I fucking hate
No,
the
I
heat.
love the heat. A lot more than the
man,
cold.
I am absolutely no. Because if you're in the
Would
cold,
you rather
can-
snow?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I really would.
There's no talking to
If
people
you're
like
in
you.
the cold, you can warm yourself up, okay? But if you're in a house and it's so fucking hot, how are you
Get a
gonna
glass
cook-
of water.
Okay, and I'm cool immediately then. Everything's
Exactly,
fine.
see,
That's
sorted.
not how it works.
Sorted.
No.
to bring it back to like terrible games.
Oh yeah.
And it's just.
You're interrupting the weather segment.
and just to,
Ireland, it changes
finish
every
off, just kind of finish off probably this segment of the podcast. My topic
Tidbit
is
cast.
done. I'm just going with the tidbit cast. I'm going to say like the last game that I've been playing now, which is not a great game, but it has its following as well, so it's still like being continued.
Yeah.
And Fortnite.
I knew, I was waiting for something.
Thank you very much for listening to the tidbit cast.
Fortnite is a great game.
My name is Gary, and this is
David.
and this is.
Aaron.
Oh. Thank you for listening.
I want to keep those pauses in just so people
Do.
are gonna just fucking be like, did that pause?
Did you forget his name?
What did happen? Did like my earphones come out?
He was just mulling it over. Oh come on!
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, we're leaving it like that.
Oh no!
God.
We're leaving that like long pause. In fact,
love it.
actually, I'm gonna add more of a pause.
More pause.
I'm gonna add like 30 seconds. to
Just
that
grab
pause.
the sound and loop it.
Oh shit! But no one knows your second name is Mullen. Who'll listen to it though? Will they?
No, nobody
No,
will. That's
that's
why.
awkward
That's
and
why
funny,
we
yeah.
fucking did that.